Since 2007, worn-out televisions and computers have been required by law in New Jersey to be recycled by the companies that make them. Application of the electronic waste management law was expanded earlier this year to go beyond TVs and computers. It now also covers desktop printers and fax machines as well. The law also was amended to include schools and local governments, both previously exempt. Most of the devices covered by the law are collected and bundled at municipal and county recycling centers. Other participants in the program include charitable organizations like Goodwill and retailers like Best Buy. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, which administers the e-waste recycling program, convened an informal Q&A session on July 10th at its headquarters in downtown Trenton. DEP officials gave presentations on how the changes would affect device manufacturers and the state's recycling community. A panel of DEP experts fielded questions from meeting attendees and from viewers watching the event's live internet broadcast.
You're just acting as the broker?
We have the relationship with the manufacturer. We have the relationship with the subcontractor. The manufacturer pays us. We pay the collector.
Which will be convenient for you, we believe. It's a continuous process of improving. If we see more problems, we will definitely take care of it, either during the program year or in the next program year.
We do appreciate.
Hi there, can you tell me who you are?
Yes, I'm Guy Watson. I'm the president of the Association of New Jersey Recyclers.
Guy, you're at a meeting today, an informal meeting at the DEP in New Jersey about recycling, about the recycling specifically of electronic waste. Would you tell people what that is and what's the importance of this event here today?
Well, not too long ago, the governor signed into law some changes to the existing Electronic Waste Management Act. These changes would expand, excuse me, the materials that would be required to be manufactured, required to be recycled, and that program to be paid for by the manufacturers. It also expands the definition of consumer. Before this law was passed, consumers were just individual residents and small businesses, but now it includes schools and local government units so that they have the opportunity to have their electronic devices recycled for free by manufacturers as well.
And we talk about electronic devices. What are we talking about here?
TVs, computers, printers, and faxes now.
Okay. What is the point of this meeting here today?
Well, I think it was to try to clarify how the DEP intends to implement these new requirements.
Okay.
And, excuse me, some of the questions that came up were from local governments wondering when some of these changes would take effect. For example, printers and faxes. The DEP indicated that that will be fully implemented by 2018. So there were some questions about, well, what do we do with the printers and faxes that we have now? There are opportunities for those materials to be recycled. Just it's not part of the manufacturer's program until next year. There'll also be some increasing reporting requirements. Probably the biggest change, though, is that the DEP will no longer establish a set excuse me, amount of material that each manufacturer will have to recycle. They will have to recycle their market share percentage of all the material that is collected throughout the entire year.
Okay. What problem led to this change, if there was a problem?
That manufacturers were apparently telling certain programs that we've met our obligation, maybe October, maybe November, but that wasn't stopping the material from still coming in. So the issue then became, well, does that mean the towns and the counties would have to pay for it, or what would they have to do? So there was a lot of scrambling around, typically in the last couple of months of each year, trying to get materials recycled.
Okay, and traditionally these materials, let's say, to be specific, an old TV, worn out TV that someone takes out of their garage or attic, they're going to primarily to a county recycling facility, right,
County
in
or
New
town.
Jersey? County or town, yeah.
Yes,
okay.
that's true.
And then eventually it gets back to the manufacturer or goes to into the recycling system.
Correct.
And the manufacturer pays for it.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, that's great. And so who are some of the big manufacturers? We talk about manufacturers. Who are some of the heavyweights here?
Samsung is by far the largest TV manufacturer.
Okay.
Excuse me. And I believe HP is the largest computer manufacturer. And then as far as the printers and faxes goes, HP again, Canon, you know, those people.
The DEP representatives spent more than an hour answering individual questions when they could.
I guess if they bring it to the collection sites, they never refuse to take it. Probably you should count that weight and report it separately. And let's get back to you. That's fine.
Questions submitted via the internet also were handled during the live broadcast.
And add printers, but will pay no additional fees? That is correct.
After the meeting formally ended, attendees got to present their questions and comments informally.
Tell me who you are.
Lisa Kneller with Vintage Tech Recyclers, Kuzakowski.
All right. Now, tell me a little bit about Vintage Tech. What's your role here in New Jersey? How do you interface with the recycling community?
I'm the Legislative Program Manager for Vintage Tech Recyclers. Ultimately, what I work with is the residential collection program, specifically for the state of New Jersey. We represent OEMs in the state and actually work to make sure that their plans are compliant. And I oversee the residential collection sites that are listed in those plans.
Okay, that's great. So you're acting sort of as the representative of the manufacturers. You mentioned OEM. I'm sure not everyone understands what that is.
Yeah, somewhat. Original electronics manufacturer, OEM. And so essentially, yes, we work together with not just the municipal government, but we also work together with the manufacturers as well.
Okay. So when the manufacturers, as everybody knows by now, they're required to do this, to pay for these programs and see that the material gets recycled. But you're the folks that actually collect it from the counties or municipal drop-off points. Is that right?
That is correct.
That's right. And then do you process it, or do you pass it on to someone else to do the
So we collect
process?
the covered devices, and we do process that material, whether it be what have you. We that is a partnership with Kuzakowski. Kuzakowski is a metals processor, so indeed we always will work with the manufacturers to ensure that processing and responsible end-of-life processing is happening at all times, and we're compliant. We're e-stewards are too, so we always comply to those standards as well.
Great. Now there were plenty of questions here today from all sorts of folks and they came in by online questions and people here present. I wasn't sure how many people would really care about this issue, but obviously there's lots of interest. Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. From your point of view, what were you and your clients' main interest coming in here? Yeah.
Really, my purpose in being here, a lot of the constituents in the room here, whether it be manufacturers or collectors, are our partners. So is always making sure that we're all on the same page, we're interpreting things the same way, but really just seeing a timeline, again, sometimes just the value in not being on the webinar, but actually being in the room is very valuable because we have opportunities like this where we can discuss with our partners post and pre-meeting. But my goals specifically and our company's goals were just to ensure that we're always in compliance with the law, that we're very specific on when things are actually going to take place, and have opportunity to ask questions.
If you have questions about electronic waste recycling, you'll probably find the answer on NJDEP's eCycle page. Reporting from the DEP in downtown Trenton, this is Frank Brill for EnviroPolitics.